So the other day I made a video about changing your location, and I was trying to say that a lot of the times when you change your location you can change your life, because you can reframe how you're thinking, you can reframe your ideas, you can recreate your creativity. I was saying all these things, and someone asked in the comments, they're saying, look, but when you change your location, are you potentially becoming attached to, constantly changing locations? And I'd argue to that question, no, you wouldn't, because the reason I'm telling you to change your location, and the reason why I consistently change my location, is because when you go to a new location, you see things from a different perspective. You see everything that you're dealing with from a different perspective, whether that's in your business or in your life. You also see opportunities you wouldn't necessarily see in other areas. So for argument's sake, when I'm in the US, which I'm in Miami right now, when I'm walking around, I might walk past a yoga studio, for argument's sake, and I think to myself, because I'm thinking in business terms, what is this yoga studio doing that other yoga studios around the world potentially aren't doing, that could be implemented, that could increase the cash flow of my friend's yoga studio in the Gold Coast, Australia? And it might sound dumb to a lot of you, but that's literally how I'm walking around thinking. What are the US doing that we can implement in other countries when I'm around the world, in other people's businesses? I'm thinking, okay, what aren't the US doing well? I've got so many Australian friends that have got so many great businesses. I've got a friend who does great coffee, right? And one of the things in these coffee shops is really good. He's got all these different specialty beans, all this, that and the other. And when I'm looking around America, they haven't got this kind of in-depth coffee roasting house thing that he's got. And I'm like, well, could this concept work here? So why am I saying this to you? I'm saying that there's different concepts that are working in different countries, and that's why I'm saying that you need to travel, why you need to go to different places. Because when you're talking about business isn't just done in one sole location. It's done by seeing what's going on in the rest of the world and then implementing it in other parts of the world ahead of time, right? There's so many different businesses I've advised with contentremoval.com where they'll be running a strategy internally. Like I was looking after a software company, and they were implementing a strategy internally in this software company that was driving a hell of a lot of revenue. And I thought, fuck, that's a great way of doing it. Could that apply to another niche? Anyway, fast forward a few months, and one of my other friends was doing something in ecom, and I was like, so I've been advising this software company, and they're doing this to generate revenue and increase lifetime value. And I reckon if we put this onto your business, it would do some serious numbers. And my mate looked at me and he's like, fucking hell, do you know what? I've never thought of that. And then he starts to implement it, and he's like, fucking hell, Frankie, that back-end subscription on this product has absolutely revolutionized my revenue and allowed me to scale my ads. And I'm like, yeah, because it's just how this software company packaged something. I've applied that then to another business. So in a roundabout way, I'm telling you, this whole traveling thing not only reframes your mind, not only reframes how you're thinking about your current business, your current life, and your current problems, but it also allows you to see new opportunities in areas you'd never even considered to be opportunities. And that's the essence of what I'm trying to say to you. Like, you just need different perspectives, because otherwise you're constantly looking at something from one narrative. The worst thing you can do is still be living where you grew up. I mean, imagine that. You're born into a world, your parents tell you and advise you about how they think the world should be, and then you just constantly live that. You constantly just live that life, live that narrative. Whatever your parents have told you, whatever they've taught you from a young age, you just take that as gospel. And then you take that throughout your whole life as your predetermined narrative. Sounds crazy. You should go out and see the world yourself. I was speaking to a Finnish girl the other night, and she was telling me I was asking her about Finland and asked her about stuff, and she told me her opinions on Russia. And I said, okay, that's funny. I said, like all the Russians I've met are pretty sound. I said, so I started to probe deeper, like where's your opinion on where's this opinion coming from, so to speak. And as I started to probe deeper and deeper and deeper, we realised her opinion was formed by her parents you know, from a young age, saying, hey, this and this, this and this and this is why you should think this. And then from that, the opinion was formed. So, in a roundabout way, what am I saying? I'm saying you have the ability to travel, you have the ability to go to a whole different level by opening up your mindset in a different way. And the only way to do that is to open up new forms, new places, new destinations, new way of thinking, new ways of business. See what's working for other people, see what can be implemented in your country, your place. So if you own a yoga studio in England and you want to see the strategies that are working, why wouldn't you come to America? Why wouldn't you go to Australia? You know, if you own a software company, why wouldn't you go to Silicon Valley? You know, you'd be mad not to. You'd be mad not to go there for like 2 months and just see what things are working. Go to the local bars, local restaurants, local gyms that these people go to develop your strategy. You'd be mad not to. If you're in the info marketing space, you'd be mad not to go to Dubai, see what these other boys are doing, see how they're generating revenue. That's the purpose of travel, right? It's to open your mind, it's to challenge your perspectives on how you're looking at the world right now, and it's also to create business opportunities you wouldn't even think of because you were just stuck in another location, just doing the same old, right? Get yourself out your comfort zone this year. Go to places you wouldn't normally go to. Go to places that absolutely intimidate you. The other night I went to this party in Miami. I don't normally go to parties, but my friend Molly said to me, I want to take you to this party to meet these 2 DJ girls. And then I met these 2 DJ girls who are quite famous in LA, and then they introduced me to loads of other people, and I'm like, you know, that's something I wouldn't have gone to, that's something I wouldn't have done. But you know, I've opened up some networks. I've opened up some networks in real estate in Miami. You know, I met a woman there, you know, in her mid-40s that does real estate. Her family built out one of the biggest real estate agencies here. So it's like, I wouldn't meet these people. I wouldn't have these opportunities, have these people in my network if I didn't go out to the world and make myself available the way that I am doing. So I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into why I say, you know, change your location, change your life. You know, and don't forget as well, I've done this for like 11 years of my life, and I've had girlfriends in that period. I've always took my girlfriends with me. So it's not like I'm saying do this and don't have a relationship. Don't come at me in the comments saying, hey, but I've got a family and kids. No excuse. You can take your family and kids. There's always a way. There's always a way. There is literally zero excuse. The world's abundant. You've got enough opportunity. I know a couple of friends of mine, Kane and Pierre. They travel around all the time. They're travel influencers. They get different perspectives and they get different insights on their business and stuff. I'm sure they do, as they're traveling around. Different ideas, different creativity. So there's no excuse. It really isn't. Everybody's doing it. I'm just documenting the journey and trying to add some value on this channel, this raw channel, whilst I'm doing it as well. So hope this adds some value to you today. Hope that clarifies that. And yeah, change your location, change your life.